Hey guys, what's up? This is Tonio from Tony's Guitar Hangout. Welcome to my channel. This is a video I wanted to make for a long time. But first off, if you're new to my channel, if you like guitars, if you like amplifiers, if you like learning stuff, if you like lessons, and if you like programs, plugins, this is your place. So please hit the subscribe button and put on the push notifications so that you're not missing out any of my content. This is a video, how I said, that I wanted to make for a long time. It started out when I was on Gear Street 2. On that Gear Street where only Europeans were allowed because of some stupid disease. I think we all get the point. So there was this guy from France called Guillaume, I think. Let's call him Guillaume. And he had that plugin. And this plugin was fantastic. It was not that I didn't experience guitar plugins for PCs or for Mac before, but this plugin was so overwhelming and thought through and so good sounding that I asked him to give me a license for the program. And he said yes, and I was happy. And I said, dude, I owe you a video. And at that time, you certainly don't know that, but I just made German content. And I didn't do that video. So first off, I have to apologize to you, Guillaume, that I didn't do the video, but I'm doing it now, so this is for you. And we are looking at the wonderful plugin, at the wonderful VST, which is called Axiom. That's maybe how you spell it, or say it right in English. In English, France, English. We're first having a look at what you need to install that program on your PC or on your Mac. What you need as a device to play guitars into your computer, and then we'll have an overview of the interface on the PC, and we're jumping a little bit through the presets. I'm not going in depth in this video. I'm gonna make videos where I'm going in depth, where we deeply look how amplifier can be modified in that program, what kind of possibilities you have to dial in your sound better, to fine adjust sounds. This is not the video, this is an overview of what the program, what the plugin can, and how much possibilities you have with this program and why you should buy this plugin. I try to do it as entertaining as I can, but since I want to take you through the whole program, this will take us a while. So take your time, grab a guitar, grab a beer, grab a coffee, grab a bottle of water, orange juice, whatever you want, and stick with me if you don't have the patience for this. There is timestamps that you can click on and watch the videos, but you will probably miss one or two cool hints, so I can just encourage you to watch the whole video. And now we jump into the program. So this is my DAW. What is a DAW? Well, basically a digital audio workstation. So a program where you can record your own music in it, where you can record your own, let's say, drums or guitars or keyboards or bass, whatever it is, which kind of music you want to make. You need a program where you can record your sounds or where you can program your sounds. There's a bunch of DAWs you can use, for example, Cubase or Pro Tools. This is the higher valued one, the ones for more experienced home producers, or you can use Studio One, which is a cool program, or Magix or something, whatever it is. You need a DAW to record your guitar. What you also need is a guitar. And what you also need is a cable to plug it into somewhere that you can record your guitar. But have you ever seen an input like this on a computer? Well, not me. And that's why you need a something in between of a computer and the guitar, where you can plug in the guitar and where the audio is digitalized, will be digitalized and then going into the computer. And this thing in between is called interface. My interface is down there. It's like a box you need where you plug in your guitar, and that something processing happening in the ear, something with blah, I don't know, and then it goes via USB-C cable into my computer, and the interface says my computer, oh, Tonio's playing guitar. The interface is not saying he's playing it right, he's playing it wrong. The interface is also not saying he's playing too loud, he's playing too low volumed, but it is transforming a signal to the computer. So that's what you need. There is a bunch of budget solutions for that. For example, from Focusrite, the Scarlett is like a tiny box which you can put in the backpack and is very easy to handle. Or from Apogee, the X, it's like looks like a pencil where you plug in your guitar on one side, and on the other side you can plug it in the computer. It's like this, big like this, so you can easily travel with this. Take your MacBook, you can take the Apogee, and you can take headphones and the DAV, the plug-in you use for the computer, and that's what you need for starting off when you want to record your guitars. Okay, now we know that. Next thing that you do is go into your DAV. I use Cubase 12, and you open up a track, and in this track there is inserts, effects, and into the inserts, effects, you can put in the plugin from Blue Cat Audio, which is called Axiom, and I already put it in, and this is the plugin interface. So if you've never worked with VST plugins or plugins himself, this might be a little bit confusing for you. So what this program actually does is simulating an amplifier. So the thing that you normally carry around with yourself, like the cabinet and the amp pad, or you have an all-in-one solution, plus the cables and a microphone to mic that up. This is what you would need to play a live gig or to record yourself. And here you have this in an all-in-one solution. So you have like a simulated amplifier with a cabinet with effects you can put in. So the main window in the middle here shows the amplifier plus all the effects that are going before the amplifier, and all the effects you could put into the effects loop when you would have a real amplifier you have in the back, like two 1/4-inch jacks where you can put in and out effects so that they're not affecting the preamp of the amp. So you have like the preamp, then effects are coming, and then you have the power amps. So everything that is in between there will not be affected by the preamp. You do that because you want certain effects to be untouched by the preamp. So everything you do with treble and mids and bass will not affect this effect. It will just be after it, and so it will be much cleaner effects. This is good for delay effects and reverb effects you'd normally put into the post effects section, so the effects loop on your amp. Or in the preamp section, there is normally gain effects like fuzzes or distortions, overdrives, dynamic effects like compressors, or even choruses. You could put that in the pre position. You could that also put it in the post effects section. But most of the time you will need the post effects section for mainly reverbs and delays, and the preamp section for everything that has to do with gain, and the gain that is coming out of the amp, the distortion that is coming out of the amp at the end. So this is the window in here. We have two amps available. Here's the first amp section. So this is basically my first amplifier, and this is my second amplifier. And with this mix knob, I can switch around between the amps. If I would have a stereo signal, I could mix up those two amplifiers and pan one, for example, completely to the left and one completely to the right, and would have two different amps on each ear. I would have one amp, one on the left side and one on the right side. So this is the amp section, amp 1, amp B, and then we have our amp with the pre-effects and the post-effects, so everything that's in the effects loop. Before you go into the amp, you sometimes want to put in other pedals like noise gates, and the noise gate should be on every patch you create, and that's why there is input effects. This is effects that are not affected by the amp. It's just everything that comes straight from your guitar and happens before the signal goes into the amp section. So that's there, and also a tuner. The tuner is good. I can definitely use it for a live or for a rehearsing situation. It's all right. For a production, I would use a different tuner because I would need a signal or something where I can see how much sense my signal is away, my guitar string is off to the targeted tone. And also it would be cool if maybe there is in a plugin, but in a newer version, I don't know. But if there is like a Peterson strobe method to tune your string properly, that would be awesome. Then you can dial in the input level, and here on the right side is the output level. So you basically walk from left to right, like this is the signal way, going here, there, then there, then there, and then going to the master track where you can put like comps on it. Or here is also a limiter. A limiter basically says, okay, we are going until 0 decibels and then it's over. And everything above, I'm cutting away. That's a limiter. It says you can't go louder than a certain point. But everything that's under that point will be raised up to the point of maximum loudness. So you can make sure that you can level your sounds better if the limiter is on. But if you be a little bit careful with what you're dialing in, you won't need the limiter on the master track. Okay, good. This is basically the overview of here, the middle section. And what we are looking at now is these two knobs. You have a gain knob for the input and for the output here. So if you're dialing up your sounds too low and you want to boost them with a dB or 2 dBs, that is possible here. And here we have different varieties of settings which we can set up, like how big do I want it to have, or I want to see my presets that I saved, or I can put in here some. If I put in here an effect, it will show up under this line which effect I'm working on and what the parameters are. Then we'll have rec tools down here. If I press this one on, this one shows where my controls are sitting, like plus 2.5, and this little thingy here shows me which controls I can. Then we have a tail spillover, which means that if you are in a preset and switch to another preset, you, for example, have a delay, and the delay would stop if you change to another preset. If you put on this spillover on, the delay will go out like it would normally do, but you would still change a preset. So you would change a preset, but the effects on the preset will not, the time effects will not be affected. Then I can lock the things, because maybe sometimes when I want to play live with this plugin and I don't want to change presets at all, but I'm somehow twisting something, that couldn't happen if I lock the GUI, so I prevent user interface setting changes. Here we have the preferences, and if I accidentally did something wrong, oh my god, that was too much middle, no problem, I can undo that, or I could also redo that. Question mark brings you to the help section, and we have the about, where it says which engine I have and which firmware I have. Then I can do the window smaller or bigger. What a bit of a downside is if you are in the on 150%, for example, and then you close your DAW and you open it up again and you open up Axiom again, it always goes back to 100%. If you now have a 4K screen like I have, this is rather small, so I always have to do 200% and have to do that by hand. This is a little bit bothering, but it's not too bad. And then I can show meters, so that you see on the right side my meters are going away if I play. This is back into pan in the middle. Good. So that's the basic overview. Now let's jump into the presets and see what is possible. What sounds do we have on this BST? Okay, if I go to the preset section here always, where it says click, it says window opacity. Yeah, thank you. Oh, this is cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Wow, I see that for the first time. Well, okay, if I click here on the amplifier, I can go to factory presets or to presets I already saved before. And then I can scroll through the presets we have, from bass guitar, byte bass guitars, to clean guitars, where I have like blue twangy Fenderish typish, British tweed typish amplifiers, and also cleans with effects. I'm gonna show you a bunch of them. So let's say I want a clean chorus for Nirvana oder what's this? Stuff like that. So if I go to clean amps, I'll probably use Strat Jazzifier. I don't have a Strat, so we don't do it Strat. Let's go to a jazz gig. For example, or funky hall. Now you can see here, that's what I want to say. On the comp that is now in the pre-effects section, I see all the parameters that I can affect to change the sound of this compressor or the reverb. If I would want to have a longer reverb, I can dial it here and don't have to go into the setting of the reverb. I don't have to click another time to open up a separate window. This is... we could go to the crunch sounds, like Billy Boy. This is for rockabilly sounds, obviously. And so on and so on. Let's look at some other crunch sounds. Let's see if we can dial in a AC/DC type of sound. What would I choose there for? Mini Brit background fire, maybe. Nah, definitely not harsh enough for AC/DC. Crunch, all blue. Dirty, blah, 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 stereo, Axiom, okay, we can't find Brit mode, maybe, Brit. Maybe, not with this guitar, but maybe. Then let's look at the crunch sounds with effects. What's choppy phase? Boulevard of Broken Ribs. Stuff like this. Or what do we have here? Look, Mom, no bass. These names are so funny. Okay, let's go over to the drive sounds. I think drive means in this case, it means lead sounds, so verse sounds, rock the 90s. Wow, this is harsh. No, don't like that. Maybe with a humbucker. There is a humbucker mode in this program, but I'm showing you this later. Drive, high watt. That's typical high watt. Let's look at the drive 2 sounds. Brit versus Brit. Yeah, it's alright. I have to change presets. I don't have to change amps. To change presets you change over here. Amps you change here. Okay. Factory presets, drive. Let's see, Brit solo with IR. This is pretty cool. I would record with this sound. This is pretty okay. Then let's see what else we have in the drive section. Melodic rock. example. So what else do we have? Drive with effects octaver. Yeah. Spread. Then the high gain sounds. So you see, there is so much possibilities for great sounds, modern Brit sounds, modern saturated sounds, punch to 11. So 5150, for example, Eddie Van Halen. And so on and so on. Or even more high gain sounds if you do like grinds. Just quick examples. So you have a real variety of sounds. Also legendary sounds from legendary guitar players or legendary songs, like what we searched before. For example. Or what else do we have here? Eric in Austin. Is this Eric Clapton? Yeah, that could be it. That could be definitely it if I would play Strat. Then shimmer effects like. Or digital swells. One of the coolest sounds that I had in a while. And you could also scroll through the amps. And choose a clean guitar amp. Fantastic, right? Okay, this is mainly the presets. And one other section is the re-guitar function. So what does re-guitar now mean? This is rather complicated, but just listen. Yeah, because we have a not so good amp for this, I'm pretty sure we can find a better one. But what we could do is, and I can show you this real quick. Where is it? Effects. Acoustify. My electric guitar, it sounds not too bad. I mean, it doesn't sound like a real acoustic guitar, but it's very, very close, and for a demo that would be okay for me. Okay, let me show you this function with the re-guitar once again, and therefore we're grabbing let's say a crunch guitar and go to a crunchy room and put in here the input effects, the re-guitar. Where is it? Re-guitar. I have a single coil. I want my single coils to sound like a humbucker. And this is just perfect for, let's say I'm on travel and I have my MacBook with me, I have Axiom with me, I have a little converter interface with me, and I have one guitar with me. If I want that my guitar sounds like for a production, because I have an idea for a song, I want my guitar to sound like an acoustic guitar or a humbucker guitar. But you don't carry 7 guitars with you, don't you? But what you can do is take the re-guitar from Blue Cat Audio and simulate this sounds, can dial in the thickness, and yeah, it's just wow. This is just fantastic. Let's scroll a little bit through the... Hear that? Definitely makes a difference. So if you want a flexible sound, and you have just one guitar, just buy the Axiom, just buy Blue Cat's re-guitar. I don't know if you can build it into or load it into other DAWs, but and other plugins, but this is pretty fantastic. Also, what's really cool, if I have a delay that I like on my computer, and I don't want to do a separate effects loop or effects send for my delay, I can load it up into here. So it lets me install external VSTs, which is awesome. So this is a real quick overview of all the functions you have in Blue Cat's Axiom, because there are so much more possibilities what you can do with this, what sounds you can create. I'm definitely going to make more videos about Axiom, where I show how to set up a preset all by yourself, how to load up other effects into the VST, into the plugin, where I show you this wonderful effect, the late replies, which is a phenomenal sounding delay from Blue Cat Audio as well, where I show you all the effects. We can real quick look at some effects. So if I, for example, oh yeah, so now I can select, for example, a blue drive, put in a, I can fine adjust here my settings. Fairly easy to set it up, and you can have so much fun, be very creative with this program, and you don't need a lot. You just need this program, you just need a computer, you need an interface, and here you go. Create music, have fun. Guys, I hope you're not too overwhelmed with this information. Tell me what you think in the comments of this video, and I hope to see you soon next time.